What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock and help you guys better understand the price action of Tesla. I'm also going to give you guys my price prediction for tomorrow given the current technical analysis and what the data is suggesting. I'm going to talk about the overall stock market and what's going on with CPI data, as we do have a new report that just came out that's very important because it's going to affect how the Fed responds next week. I'm also going to talk about tweets from the man, the myth, the legend himself, Elon Musk, as these things make me very excited for the future of Tesla. Now, before I get into any more details, though, I do have to mention a couple of important things. The first thing is I'm not a financial planner, so please don't take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link down below and in the description. If you do sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100, you're not only going to qualify for up to 5 free stocks, each worth up to $3,500, but you're also going to get a free NEO share. So if you want a free NEO share, check out the offer down below. With that out of the way, guys, let's get on with the video. So looking at Tesla, we're down about 2.41% for the day. Now, overall, guys, I don't consider this a bad day. This was actually a pretty good day despite us being red. Now, the entire market was red after the CPI data came out, and also, the Ukraine situation played its toll too. But at the end of the day, guys, this was a pretty good day for Tesla. The reason for that is this. Looking at the one-day chart, we dropped pretty hard today. We had a bounce. We kind of formed this double bottom, but we had the bounce at $810 a share. Once again, we did pretty well because after we got that bounce, we started running up and up and up, and we ended up closing at almost $840 a share. That's not too far from where we were yesterday. We ended up being down 2.41%, and that's actually pretty good considering what is going on with the overall market. So I want to talk about why the market was red, or at least what played a big role, and what does this mean going forward. Look at the CPI data. The CPI data is one of the metrics we use to measure inflation. It's not the most comprehensive way, but it definitely plays a pretty good role. But the thing is, that doesn't matter, right? Because many economists talk about how it's not that perfect, but that doesn't matter because this is what the market makers, investors use when it comes to understanding inflation. So CPI suggested that the inflation rate rose by about 7.9% in February. And the thing is, it doesn't include the price of housing, but it's just a good understanding that inflation is going up. Now, here's the thing. Food and energy costs really started to go up, and they're at their highest in the last 40 years. So this in turn is leading to some fear in the market. Not to mention the fact that there is lots of uncertainty about Ukraine and other things like that, but right now it's extremely fearful. The sentiment of the market is extremely fearful. And this, as a result, is going to affect how the market ends up functioning. So, looking at the Fed, this is their calendar. We have the FOMC meeting on March 15th through the 16th. This is going to be very important for the market and Tesla because this is when I believe the Fed is going to announce the big change, the raising of interest rates. So, to what degree are they going to raise rates? You may be wondering. The answer is perhaps a 25 basis point hike. And Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Fed, he talked about the fact that when changing, his monetary policy, it's going to resemble perhaps the beginning of the century more than 2008. That means that we're most likely going to see one hike, then another hike after maybe 8 weeks, then another, every maybe 2 or 3 months. We're going to keep seeing more and more hikes. So this is important because the hikes are already kind of priced into the market. And if it's a 25 basis point hike, this leads to one thing, and that is certainty. Right now, the market is fearful because there's so much uncertainty right now. But the Fed making this change to address inflation, it's going to lead to certainty because we know to what degree, or at least we have an idea of how much these interest rates are going to hike. So that, in my opinion, could eventually lead to a pretty good rally for Tesla going into the future. So I'm not saying it's going to happen immediately. I do think it may take a couple of days, maybe a week after, but I still see this as a pretty good thing that could actually help Tesla going forward. Now, for the short term and going into tomorrow, let's talk about what we should be anticipating. So, looking at the SPY is kind of close to its short-term bottom right now. I'm not saying that this is the entire bottom because I do see more downside going into the next upcoming weeks. But for this week, I do think our bottom was at 420, and I do see us actually seeing a little bit green going into tomorrow. The same thing could be said about the Nasdaq, but that in turn is going to have an effect on Tesla. And that effect is, I think it's going to help Tesla actually run a little bit more. Because what generally happens is Tesla finds its bottom, and once it finds its temporary bottom, it starts to rally off of that before it gets resistance and rejected, and then it drops right back down. So, considering that we were down about 2.41%, I think many technical indicators are suggesting now that we got this like reversal, this trend reversal, and we are going to start running a little bit more going into tomorrow. Now, it's not going to be a crazy green day. I do predict it's going to be somewhat green, but not crazy green because it's a Friday. You know, a lot of day traders like to, they like to take their profits and other things like that. But let's just look at the chart. Okay, the 2 hour chart right here, let me zoom into it a little bit. We got that bounce at 8:10, and in my previous video I told you guys about this event. It happened way sooner than I thought it would take maybe a few days, but it ended up happening today. So we dropped to 8:10, we filled the gap I was talking about from the 1 minute chart and the 5 minute charts, and then after filling the gap we bounced. So I do think we're going to continue to run a little bit more, because what happened was, and let me actually bring up the 5 minute chart. Looking at the 5 minute chart, way down here, as soon as we went down here, the super trend gave us a buy signal. We also got that 1348 exponential moving average crossover, right? That's a pretty good bullish indicator. So I want to look at these real quick before I talk about where I see the price going. So I'm going to look at the 2 hour candles just real quick. We're starting to see, we saw this upward trend that formed, that drop. We're starting to see some sideways action, but the RSI is picking up a little bit to 50.29. So this is my conclusion. Okay, I think we're gonna run up tomorrow just a little bit. And I think we could even go as high as 850. We might end up testing resistance right there, as the market is probably going to be green. Then we're going to get rejected and we're going to drop. And we're probably going to close around 840 flat. That's what I would anticipate for Tesla. I think we're going to be somewhat in the green. We could go either way because of the Ukraine situation and uncertainty, but I just think that this is a little bit more probable considering that we were red today and we did have that big hit with that bounce. So I do predict we're going to trade around the 840 and we should close around there based off what these technical indicators are suggesting. Now, going into the future, as you guys know, inflation is going up, and we are seeing this right here. Tesla increases price of long-range versions of the Model 3 and Model Y as nickel prices surge. Now, the price of nickel surging is not just due to inflation. It kind of had like a short squeeze-like event that played out. And I do think inflation played its role. And like I said, guys, commodities are going to start going up, but this is just one domino effect of many things that are going to change for the automobile industry. We are still in a bit of a semiconductor shortage, and also we're starting to see some commodities start to go up. So as a result, we're going to see a $1,000 price hike for the Model 3 and Model Y. But the thing to remember is the fact that Teslas are very amazing cars and it has a big brand. So I don't see this as affecting it too much, because the difference between, I would say, 51,000, 52,000, essentially, because I'm rounding these numbers, it's not that crazy. So it's not nothing too insane, nothing too horrible. And they are going to eventually get priced into inflation going forward. It's almost inevitable. But going into the future, right, as time progresses, and Elon Musk has spoken about this, he does believe the cost to produce these cars is going to start going down. And eventually, perhaps we could have a cheaper one coming out. So I don't know about that yet. That's maybe like 5 years into the future. But as of right now, this is something that Tesla investors should be aware of. Now, I want to end the video by talking about this. Mars Catalog asked, is there going to be a full self-driving beta update? And Elon Musk responded, this weekend it's coming. So that's going to be pretty awesome. I can't wait to see what he announces, because the full self-driving beta is going to be huge going into the future. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So to end the video, guys, look, we did have a good bounce. We had a pretty healthy day. We weren't down 6%. We were down only 2.41%, because towards the last like hour and a half, we had a good recovery. And I do expect us to continue like that tomorrow. I do see a rejection at 850. Then we're probably going to drop and close around 840 tomorrow. So I do see a slight green day. I want to just prepare you guys for this. Right now, the market is kind of unstable, but going into the future, I'm still very, very bullish for Tesla. Nothing has changed. The fundamentals are there, and I'm very, very excited. That's what I have for this one. I want to thank you all for listening, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Tesla to the moon, and peace out.